morning everyone, welcome back to another episode of On the Farm. Today is, where are we? Wednesday the 27th of May, and I've been let loose on a new job which I'm very excited about. So whether you can see or not, but I am in the Fendt 312 and we're in a field called Top Middle, although perhaps I should call it an orchard. So we're down here in the orchards, and behind me I've got the, can't pronounce it properly, but Berthoud orchard airblast spray behind us. So yeah, first time I've been let loose on this. Had a bit of a tutorial from Paul yesterday. Very much this is Paul's tractor. He used it down the orchard for airblast spraying, herbicide spraying, mowing, anything really that happens down here. Officially it's not an orchard tractor as you would expect. Those of you who know what orchard tractors are like, they're very narrow. They usually, you sit here and you've got like a gearbox in between your legs which you have to step over. This is not an orchard tractor, but it sort of doubles up as an orchard tractor, and we can also use it on the farm as and when required for shifting around trailers and rolling, things like that. But the massive benefit for me and sort of for the farm generally is that it is still a Fendt. Now, what do I mean by it is still a Fendt? Well, what I mean is that it's very easy to jump in and out of the Fendt 724. This is basically a miniature Fendt 724. I might put you on my head in a bit so you get a bit more of an idea of what the view's like. There's nothing here on the sort of dashboard where the lights and stuff are on the Fendt. The 724s, they're all over here on this, but the buttons are all the same, the joystick's the same. The handbrake's down here, which is a bit weird. You always go to reach here, it's never there, but handbrake's down there. Otherwise, spools are the same. Your hydraulic, your 3-point links rather, I don't know what I'm trying to say, is all the same. The screen, it's a smaller screen, but all the symbols, all the uses are still the same. So to be honest, you could go from one of these up to a 1050 quite happily, and at least know how to drive the thing without worrying, and then all you've got to worry about is the implement on the back sort of thing. But I think there's, a massive benefit to having, and it doesn't have to be Fendt. Obviously, you can see from the videos that this farm likes its Fendts. I'm not going to complain one bit about that because they are absolutely brilliant. But if you've got a fleet of kit, there is a massive benefit to having the same brand, be it New Holland, John Deere, Class or whatever, so that people can jump in and out of kit pretty happily. Go to move it and whatever, all that sort of stuff. So, and know how to operate it. The smaller Massey is, fairly simplistic. You can sort of jump in and have a bit of an idea. Although the larger Massey, the 86 or 87, takes a little bit more getting used to. Also the screen, and it's what is it, 17 plate. I know they've updated the screen on the newer Masseys. I think they're now the same as the Vultras. I'm sure someone will potentially correct me on that, but I think it's now a touch screen and probably a little bit easier. But the current screen that's in the one we've got is like a scroll wheel and click, and it's a bit of a nightmare really, to be honest, to do anything. Whereas on here, okay, like I said, jump out of a 724 and it's here. If you want to change the height of the arms, it's very easy. You know what you're doing, the spool flow rates, it's all the same. And yeah, it's a lovely place to be, especially down the orchard. It's very comfortable down here. Whereas, if you spent a full day on those orchard tractors, I'm sure there's a few people watching who have done so, then the comfort level is going to be nowhere near this, and you'll probably feel it more than you would do spending a day in this. So as you can see from the driver's point of view, it is very similar to a 700 series. Like I was saying, the buttons here are missing ever, slightly. They're over here, so you've got your lights, you've got your aircon, all those sort of things over there, and then PTO and everything like that. Potentially the cab is slightly smaller, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure somebody probably knows. But it still feels spacious. I think that's all the same, but maybe there's less space behind. You got some cup holders down here, which we don't have in the 700s, and yeah, otherwise pretty much the same setup really. So yeah, massive benefit of being able to jump in and out of kit. That's the sprayer. This is basically how we control the trees in terms of disease. There's two sprayers used down here. There's this one which targets the leaves, as you can see. It's called an airblast. There's a fan at the back which is blasting the chemical or the water up onto the leaves. And then there's also a herbicide sprayer which just targets down these, what we call the herbicide strips. You can see Paul's been down, and just to keep the weeds out of there. Yes, holds 2,000 litres, and yeah, it's a pretty cool bit of kit. So yeah, there's a possibility that it will be changed for a bigger version, so you can get a 3,000 litre one, which won't really impact the tractor, but will mean you can probably spray a little bit more, depends on your water volume, but spray more acres to the tank. So yeah, we are very much still praying for some rain. There's a patch of wheat up there, but the crops could really do with some rain now, although none is forecast. It's a weird thing saying that, because when we were harvesting this orchard, this was the last orchard we harvest, it was so wet, we were leaving terrible marks. You'll see on the headlands and stuff that Paul has done a cracking job on getting those back into shape early spring when he could. There's now a little bit of grass coming up in them, but it's so wet, and some of these trees have suffered from water logging. So you'll see the occasional tree which is not looking particularly healthy, and that's just where it's sat in water over winter. And now it's completely the opposite. So it's been a pretty challenging season really, in terms of growing crops in particular. Very wet in the autumn, and now very dry in the spring going into the summer. But there we go, we're very much all in the same boat. Livestock farmers are wanting some grass, wanting some rain for the grass to grow rather. But there we go, farmers always moaning about the weather. It's been nice to do something different. We've still got the potato harvester in the workshop, still going on with that. We've been to the dealers, and actually I saw a self-propelled harvester there yesterday, Grimmy Tektron, which was incredibly impressive. But yeah, we're waiting for a few parts. We're waiting for a clod roller. Obviously it's just been the bank holiday, so that's slightly delayed things, but we're looking fairly good with it. We'll have the cart elevator to put back on, and yes, so hopefully, depending on parts, we might be able to finish that this week and put it back to bed basically until the very end of September, once we get it out, and we will go and harvest the potatoes once more. But yeah, that's it. We are going to run this tank out. This is the last orchard that we are spraying. I'm not going to go into too much detail on what's being sprayed or on the sort of kit and all that, because like I say, it's the first time I've done it. Absolutely loving it, but I don't really want to talk about it when I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I can talk about the tractor because you know, a Fendt is a Fendt. But there we go. So we'll head back down the road in a minute, fill up, finish off this orchard and see what the rest of the day brings. There we go. Also a shout out to Paul for his tuition and for yeah, letting me have a go.